Good morning all. We shall start with new module. It is the fifth module. The fifth module tells about the canal and reservoir. Here we are going to study the canal, types of canal, canal alignment, and we are going to study about Lacey's theorem and Kennedy's theorem. Lacey's theory or Kennedy's theory we are going to study in detail, and we are also going to study important parts of reservoir, and we are going to study importance of reservoir, storage capacity of reservoir. All these things we are going to study in this module. Module 5 deals with canals and reservoirs. Okay. First, we shall understand what is canal. What is canal? What is canal? Canal is an artificial channel. Usually it is trapezoidal in shape, constructed on the ground to supply the water to the agricultural fields. Canal is an artificial channel. Usually it is trapezoidal in shape, which is constructed on the ground, ground surface. Why it is constructed on the ground surface? To irrigate the agricultural fields. To irrigate the agricultural fields. It is provided. Not only agriculture purpose, there are many other purpose for industrial like that. Okay. Once again I am going to define canal. Canal is an artificial channel. Usually it is trapezoidal shape. Why trapezoidal shape? Why not V shape or why not rectangular shape? Because the trapezoidal shape is the most economical section. Trapezoidal shape is the most economical section, which we have already studied in fluid mechanics and hydraulics in 3rd and 4th semester. Because the trapezoidal section it is the most efficient section which outputs more amount of water with less losses. Okay. Canal is an artificial channel, usually trapezoidal shape, constructed on the ground surface for the irrigation and agricultural purpose. Okay. Usually whenever the full supply line is below the ground level, is below the ground level, then the canal is to be constructed. Whenever the canal is to be constructed, the full supply line is below the ground level, then the canal is to be constructed by cutting the soil. It is the ground level and it is the full supply level. Then here we need to cutting is to be taken. Here we need to excavate the soil and then here we need to construct the canal. In which condition? Whenever the full supply line is below the ground level, what we need to do? Here we need to excavate the soil, and at that particular place here we need to construct the canal. Whenever the full supply level is above the ground level, at that time what we need to do? Here we need to Here you need to fill up the embankment. You need to fill up the embankment. It is nothing but the filling. But in some cases, here we need to undergo cutting also, here we need to undergo filling also. At which cases? At some cases, you need to undergo partial cutting and partial filling is to be done. Partial cutting and partial filling is to be done. This is the introduction with respect to canal. Now, classification of canal. The next topic is classification of canals. Canals are classified on various approaches. What are the various? The first one is classification based on source of supply. The first classification of canal is classification based on source of supply. Here the canal classification can be done into two types. One is permanent canal. The second one is indentation canal. Indentation is inundation canal. What is permanent canal? The permanent canal name itself indicates here water is supplied from the reservoir, tanks or rainfall method. The water is supplied either perennially or non-perennially. The water is supplied throughout the year or at some times of the year. In permanent canal, we are going to supply the water at regular interval of time. In case of non-perennial rivers, in case of perennial rivers also, we are going to supply continuous amount of water for every 1 month or twice in a month, like that. Whereas indentation canal is provided whenever indentation canal is a canal here which draws the water whenever flow of water in the river is high. Flow of water in the river is high or at flood condition or at flood. Whenever the river is undergoing flood, at that time indentation canals are provided. It is an extra opening provided to prevent the reservoir or prevent the river from the floods. To prevent the reservoir or prevent the river from the floods, additional extra opening is provided. That type of canal is called as inundation canal. Whereas the permanent canal, here at regular interval of time we are going to supply the water, whether it may be perennial or whether it may be non-perennial, but the water is supplied in the canal through fixed slope. Through fixed slope, the water is supplied to the crop, whether it may be agriculture field or whether it may be for industrial purpose. This is the classification based on source of supply. The second classification is classification based on function. Again, it is classified into 4 types: feeder canal, carrier canal, navigation canal, and the fourth one is power canal. Power canals. What is feeder canal? Here the water from the reservoir or river, it is supplied to 2 or 3 canals simultaneously, without supplying to agricultural fields. Here we are not going to supply the water to the agricultural fields. What we are going to do, from the reservoir we are going to supply the water to 2 to 3 canals, first canal, second canal and third canal. But whatever the water which is flowing from the reservoir to the canal, it will not go to the fields. This type of canals are called as feeder canals. For canals, the water is going to feed. What is carrier canals? Carrier canals, it is nothing but here the water from the canal feeds to agricultural field and also supply the water for other canals. It is called as carrier canals. What is navigation canal? Navigation canal is nothing but it is used for inland navigation purpose. Navigation is also one of the mode of transportation. Through water, usually in Kerala or usually in Amsterdam. Navigation is also one of the mode of transportation from one place to another place. The fourth one is power canals. What is power canals? It is used to generate electricity through canal. It is used to generate electricity through canal. The first one is feeder canal. What is feeder canal? Feeder canal feeds the water from reservoir to 2 to 3 main canals. What is carrier canals? Carrier canals are nothing but it feeds the water to the agriculture fields and also the water is also supplied to other canals or other channels. The third one is navigation canal. Here the canal can be used as one of the mode of transportation. From one place to another place. Usually when we are going to use the navigation canal, the canal should be broad enough. Or the width of the canal should be long. At that time we can use for navigation purpose. And the fourth one is power canal. Through the canal we can also generate the hydroelectric power. This is also one of the type of canal. Now the next classification is Classification. The next classification is classification based on discharge. Based on discharge, we are going to classify the canal. What are the classification? The first one is main canal. The second one is branch canal. Branch canal. Third one is major distributary. The fourth one is minor distributary. The fifth one is water course or field channel. Water course or field channel. Here it is going to classify on 5 tabs. The first one is main canal, the second one is branch canal, the third one is major distributary, the fourth one is minor distributary, and the fifth one is water course or field canal. What is main canal? The name itself indicates whatever the water from the reservoir or from the river, it is supplied to main canal. It is supplied to water from rivers, dams is supplied to main canal. Usually in main canal the discharge is large. What is branch canal? Whatever the water from the main canal, it is distributed to sub branches. Water from the main canal is distributed to 2 to 3 branch canal. It is main canal. From the main canal the water is distributed to branch canal. Usually the discharge capacity in the branch canal is more than 5 cumac. It is more than 5 cumac. Major distributaries. Water from main canal or from branch canal, it is supplied to sub branches of the canal. It is called as major distributary. The discharge capacity is around 0.25 cumac to 5 cumac. The discharge capacity is 0.25 cumac to 5 cumac. And in major distributaries, at some point we are going to directly supply to agricultural fields. What the next one is minor distributary. Minor distributary, the discharge capacity from the main distributary, it is supplied to minor distributary, and the discharge capacity is less than 0.25 cumac. From the minor distributaries, it is going to supply the water to agricultural fields. What is water course or field channel? These are the channel which are made by farmers or laborers. Made by farmers or laborers to supply the water from higher elevation to lower elevation or to divert the water flow from one area to another area, it is done by farmers or laborers. Usually the amount of discharge in water course or field channel is less because the width and depth of the channel is less. This is classification based on the discharge. The next classification is classification based on financial output. The first one is productive canals, and the second one is protective canals. What is productive canal and what is protective canal? Because both the words are not same. It is productive and it is protective. What is it? From the productive canals, we are going to expect some income or some good output. Whatever the canal, you all know that for the construction of canal, it takes crores of amount for construction of canals. By investing crores of money, we should get some output, good output. Whether it should increases the income of agricultural or it increases the income of farmers, and whatever the money invested in the canal for the construction of the canal, the output should be reached within 16 years span, and it should not get damaged. All these are the productive. If we invest some time, some money in any work, we should get some good output because the initial cost and the maintenance cost of the canal should be low. If we construct a canal for the next year, the canal has undergone damage, it is the waste of construction or waste of money or waste of time. So if we are going to construct any canal, it should be productive enough. It should undergo, the output of the canal should be good. Whereas in case of protective canal, here the canals are constructed for employment purpose or for famine purpose. All these things are here the protective canals, whatever the amount you are going to invest in the protective canals will not be recovered, because one is the employment, whatever in particular place Rajasthan, there is a heavy drought, or in some parts of northern Karnataka there is a heavy drought or heavy famine in nature. At that time, if you are going to construct the canal, it will create an employment to the surrounding people, and the famine purpose will also be relaxed. So the output may not be, or the outcome may not be received in the stipulated time, but it will be used for these surrounding peoples. The next type is classification based on soil, alluvial canals. The second one is non-alluvial canals. What is alluvial canals? The canals which are constructed on the alluvial soils, alluvial soils. Alluvial soils are good for agricultural purpose. Usually alluvial soils are found in North India. Usually it is found in North India. Whereas non-alluvial canals are constructed on the rocks or other soils. These type of canals are called as non-alluvial soils or non-alluvial canals. The next classification is classification based on lining. It is nothing but lined canal. The second one is unlined canal. What is lined canal? Lined canal is nothing but the canals which provides an impervious membrane, membrane at the banks and at the beds of the canal. Whatever the water flowing in the canal will not percolate into the soil. Here we can reduce the amount of loss. Here we will not percolate into the soil in case of lined canal. Whereas in case of unlined canal, the water will percolate. Into the soil, whether it may be at the banks or whether it may be at the bed. Here in unlined canal, more losses will undergo. Whereas in lined canal, less losses. But the construction of lined canal requires more money, whereas construction of unlined canals requires less money. All these things are the classification of soil. Classification of canals is very important topic for your examination point of view. You may ask classify based on function, classify based on discharge, or classify based on source of supply, or classify based on lining. You may ask it for 10 marks. All these things are important. Here lined canal, you are going to provide an impervious membrane at the banks as well as at the beds, whereas in unlined you are not going to provide any impervious membrane. For the soil only you are going to compact it and we are going to run the canal. Whereas the lined canal has long lifespan, whereas unlined canal has short lifespan. These are the things which you are going to study in classification of canal. Classification of canals is classified based on the source of supply, based on the function, based on the discharge, based on the financial support, based on the soils, based on the lining. All these things are important for your examination point of view. Next one is canal alignment. What is canal alignment? Here we are going to fix up some slope. The name. What is canal alignment? Canal alignment is nothing but a regular manner or suitable path. Canal alignment is nothing but a suitable path of the canal, such that it should cover maximum area for irrigation. What is canal alignment? Here we should align the canal in such a way that it should cover more area, irrigation area. Should align the canal such a way that it should cover more area. Canal alignment consists some of the points. One is the area of irrigation should be more. With less length of the canal, with less length of the canal, with less length of the canal. It is one of the conditions of canal alignment. And cross drainage work, cross drainage work in the canal should be avoided. In the canal should be avoided, because if you provide the cross drainage work in the canal, it will increase the cost of the construction. So if we avoid it, it reduces the cost of construction. It reduces the cost of construction. The takeoff point from the source of the canal, should be ridge, should be sharp curves in the canals should be avoided. Okay, usually in case of hilly areas, it is not possible to construct a ridge canal. So provide contour canal. So provide contour canal. Usually in case of hilly area, we cannot provide the ridge canal. At that time, we should provide the contour canal. Usually ridge canal cannot be provided at that time. Provide contour canals. Canal should be aligned in such a way that the ideal length of the canal should be minimum. Canal alignment should be such that the ideal length of the canal should be minimum. Ideal length of the canal should be minimum. Usually while constructing the canal, we should usually avoid heavy cutting or heavy filling. Usually both cutting and filling should be in balanced nature. Should not undergo for heavy cutting and you should not undergo for heavy filling. Usually avoid heavy cutting and heavy filling. Balanced cutting and filling should be balanced cutting and filling is necessary. Heavy cutting and heavy filling should not be undergone. And usually avoid the construction of canals in rocky and cracked strata. Usually avoid the construction of canal in rocky and cracked strata. Whenever the rocky or cracked strata obtained, usually avoid the construction of canal at that particular place. Usually avoid the construction of canals in villages, roads, temples and some of the obligatory points. Usually avoid the construction of canals in roads, villages, temples and in obligatory points. Avoid the construction of canal. What are the things you should know before canal alignment? One is we should align the canal in such a way that it should cover maximum area with least length of the canal, and the cross drainage should be avoided as far as possible, because if you provide the cross drainage, it will increase the construction cost of the canal. And the takeoff point from the source should be ridge, In case of hilly areas, we cannot provide ridge canal. At that time, provide the contour canal. At that time, provide the contour canal. At that time, provide the contour canal. Usually avoid sharp curves in canals. Avoid sharp curves in canal. Sharp curve leads to damage of canals. It will leads to scoring action, or it will leads to some erosion. Ideal length of the canal should be minimum as far as possible. Usually the ideal length of the canal should be minimum as far as possible, such that the with minimum length of the canal should reach maximum agricultural fields. Avoid heavy cutting and heavy filling. Avoid heavy cutting and heavy filling. The cutting and filling should be in balanced nature. It should be in balanced nature. Avoid the canal in rocky and cracked structure. Avoid the canal in rocky and cracked structure. Avoid the construction of canal in roads, villages and temples, etc. And in some cases, if the soil is very weak, such as BC soil, in case of black cotton soil, construction of canal is an hectic job. There we need to undergo for treatment. BC soil is nothing but an black cotton soil. Black cotton soil will leads to swelling and shrinkage. Whenever you are going to provide a lined canal in BC soil, whenever the swelling takes place and the shrinkage takes place, the canal will get damaged. So before constructing the lined canal in BC soil, it is better to undergo for treatment. Or avoid the construction of canal in BC soils. These are some of the things of canal alignment. In next class we shall discuss about the reservoirs. Okay, thank you.